The summer air hung heavy with the promise of adventure as my friends and I, all barely into our teens, gathered at the entrance of the garden school. Nightfall had descended, casting long shadows that seemed to stretch and grasp at our heels. We were no strangers to the darkness of the schoolyard. After all, it was our haven after 5 p.m., when the gates opened for kids to play into the evening. With a mix of excitement and trepidation, we slipped through the gates, our laughter echoing off the walls of the empty corridors. The school, once bustling with activity, now lay quiet and still, a shadow of its daytime self. As we made our way deeper into the deserted playground, the sounds of our footsteps mingled with the chirping of crickets, creating an eerie symphony that seemed to underscore the sense of foreboding that hung in the air. Then, the screams shattered the silence, cutting through the night like a blade. Fear seized hold of us as we raced toward the source of the commotion, our hearts pounding in our chests. We found ourselves standing before a locked door, our friends trapped on the other side. Panic surged within me as I realized the gravity of our situation. Inside the room, illuminated by the soft glow of the moon, lay scattered puzzles, a cruel reminder of the innocence that had brought us here. As we stood there facing the locked door, panic started creeping in. I couldn't shake this nagging thought that the guy who usually hangs around during our afternoon and evening playtime wasn't here. It was weird, you know. Like, where did he go? And then it hit me. Maybe he's up to something shady. In the dim light from the windows, things started to click. We were stuck in this room, cut off from our friends and with no adults around. It was pretty scary, and the longer we stayed stuck, the more I felt like something bad was about to go down. Outside the door, we could hear footsteps echoing down the hall. Was it him? The guy who's supposed to be watching out for us? The thought made my skin crawl, and I could tell my friends were feeling it too. With each passing second, the fear got worse. I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched, hunted even. And then we heard our friends freaking out, their screams getting closer and closer. That's when I knew for sure we weren't alone in this mess. The guy who should have had our backs was now our biggest problem, and our only shot at getting out of this was busting out of that room and facing whatever messed up stuff was waiting for us on the other side. But there was no time to dwell on the horrors lurking within. With adrenaline coursing through our veins, we threw ourselves against the door, desperate to break free from the clutches of the unknown. With each blow, the wood groaned and protested, but the door held fast. Frustration turned to desperation as we searched for another means of escape, our minds racing with fear-fueled adrenaline. And then, like a beacon of hope in the darkness, we saw it, the window. Without hesitation, we hurled ourselves towards it, the glass shattering into 1,000 glittering fragments as we crashed through. The sharp sting of pain as glass bit into our flesh was nothing compared to the overwhelming sense of relief as we tumbled out into the cool night air. We lay there for what felt like hours, our bodies bruised and battered, but alive. As we staggered to our feet and limped away from the garden school, we knew that the scars we carried, both physical and emotional, would serve as a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked within its walls. But we also knew that we had faced our fears and emerged victorious, stronger for having stared into the abyss and lived to tell the tale.